Good afternoon to you all. My name is Naomi from St.Noa Mawagali Secondary School, and this is my team. On my right, it's Namanya Divina Terembeire and Ajibo Caritas, and lastly, Alvin Isarire.
Hello everyone, my name is Comfort Praise Onyango, a student at Seeta High School, Mukono, and this is Tumwine Jonathan, she's Martha, and this is Raj, and today we are going to be negators in our debate, and the motion is cashless transactions are the greatest step towards solving corruption.
I have very high expectations from my teammates, and I believe that we are going to execute this motion quite well and make sure that we deliver, and I expect a win at the end of tonight's debate.
We as St.Noa, you expect success from us. We shall do it to our best and come up as winners. Thank you very much.
House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
Panel jury, the two antagonistic bodies plus the August House at Ledger. Good evening. My name is Ajibo Caritas, a student of St.Noa Mawagali, team affirmative. Cashless transactions will be the greatest steps towards ending corruption. That's our resolution for today. Dear judges, let me first begin by explaining the keywords in our resolution. Greatest, of an extent, amount of intensity considerably above average. Cashless transaction, a payment made or accepted without use of hard cash. Ending, a situation in which something does not exist anymore. Corruption, dishonest or illegal behavior, especially of people in authority. Our source of information is the Oxford Learner's Dictionary 10th edition. Dear judges, we all know that it is the latest dictionary. Dear judges, we have various types of corruption. IGI, embezzlement of funds, which ranks 83%, bribery, which ranks 92%, nepotism, which ranks 81%, and our source of information is ctv.com. Dear judges, here are some of the examples of cashless transactions. We have ATM cards, e-wallets, mobile wallets. Dear judges, our parameter will be Uganda, but we shall restrict our parameter on embezzlement because it is the most common category of corruption. 152.1 million have been embezzled in Uganda. Dear judges, our policy is that we are going to account for who made the transaction, when was the transaction made, to whom was the transaction made, did the transaction reach, for what purpose was it made, and was the purpose fulfilled. Dear judges, our time frame is 5 years, whereby in those 5 years, we are going to make a budget, increase for more cashless transaction sites, account for the more money released, publish the budget and activities done. Dear judges, our status quo is currently in Uganda, the Speaker, Ms. Among, along with Vice President Jessica Alupo, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, and 22 ministers have been implicated in the Iron Sheet saga, and Honorable Tututu with her family. Dear judges, our house is UCC, CID, Judiciary, World Bank, and Police Force, whereby...
Point of information. Speaker.
Not granted, please. As we team affirmative, we are going to publicize with the help of UCC if the money has not reached. As we team affirmative, the judiciary, which we've started among our houses, we are going to promote and maintain the laws. The criminal investigation department, it will investigate on each and every step
Point of information, Speaker.
Not granted, please. The police force, which is going to arrest the corrupt officials, and the World Bank, which is going to fund us to increase for cashless transactions. These are some of the advantages of cashless transactions. It is transparent and will bring accountability in governance. The transactions can be easily traced, they are relevant, and there is proof. Right now, the percentage of corruption in Uganda is 78%. Dear judges, the percentage of corruption in Uganda, it is 78%. Dear judges, allow me to submit my views. Whenever cash is involved, there is a very large scope of corruption. These cashless transactions will help to be the solution in preventing clean, transparent, and accountable governance. With that, allow me to respect.
Resolved. Cashless transactions will be the greatest step towards ending corruption. Definition of the key terms. Corruption is the misuse of public office for private gain. A cashless transaction is any monetary transaction that can be completed without use of physical cash. Greatest is very, very excellent or something that has the most ability. So now Team Affirmative comes and talks about a work plan of 5 years, but the work plan does not look at the risks of using cashless transactions. It does not look at what is associated with using cashless transactions. It does not look at the loopholes that are in cashless transactions, like risks of fraud, like risks of hacking. What type of work plan is that? You are trying to solve, but then you do not look at what is going to happen in the long run. They come to and they do not look at the status quo of the motion. We are seeing that there is corruption, and there have been bodies that are trying to end corruption, but they do not look at that. But therefore, they just come and tell us about their work plan that is basically trying to fight corruption, but in the wrong one, which is not also fighting corruption, but it is basically trying to bring Pharisees on board. Dear band of judges, I want to tell you that a work plan that does not have what is looking ahead, a work plan that does not bring to effect, is not a work plan at all. It is just a strategy that is not even in words. Dear band of judges, the forms of corruption in Uganda, we look at bribery, we look at embezzlement. Dear panel of judges, I want to tell you one of the causes of corruption, there is greed of money. So now Team Opposition comes on board and says, if we are not fronting for the cashless transactions, what are we bringing on board? We are bringing audits, lifestyle audits, and well as the Whistleblowers Act. We want to tell you that whistleblowers have been there, and we have seen their effectiveness. We have seen, according to Transparency International, where Godfrey Magezi was versing the Attorney General in the Appeal number 13 of 2015. We have seen Kamdisha versus Uganda Revenue Authority in the civil suit of 311 of 2011. They have been in there. But then what are we coming on board to do? We are setting a strategy of how we are going to ensure they are going to work based on that. And so we come up with a strategy that, as the Inspectorate of Government, funded by the Ministry of Finance and Foreign Aid, we look to work with the bodies that are fighting corruption, inclusive the Office of the Auditor General, the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority. So in the first 6 months of our first year, we shall sensitize masses about the whistleblowing policy and the Whistleblowers Protection Act of 2010, because it has come to our knowledge that the masses are ignorant of its existence. In the second half of the year, we are going to sensitize masses on the lifestyle audits and their importance. In our second year, the country is going to have general elections, and we shall roll out lifestyle audits. Having known the process of whistleblowing, the masses will surely collaborate and report all instances of corruption they come across. We shall as well empower all anti-corruption bodies with such a beautiful work plan that better status quo, we are headed towards ending corruption. Dear panel of judges, I want to tell you that corruption is solved by exposing it, by not keeping it in the shadows, dear panel of judges. And so that's why Team Negative is coming on board to show you that we shall fight corruption by using audits, using lifestyle audits, but not cashless, we believe cashless transactions are there. But we are making our audits and lifestyle audits key in fighting corruption towards ending corruption. Dear panel of judges, I would like to tell you that Team Affirmative brings about cashless transactions, but they do not tell us on which sector they are looking at.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.